Welcome, paranormal enthusiasts, to this week's episode of We're Creepin' It Real, here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network, where everyone comes for their paranormal fix. Real people, real stories, in real time. So glad you could join us for some ghostly gab. I'm your host, Eleanor Wagner. As always, I appreciate you hitting the subscribe tab, follow button, or show app on your podcast of choice. Everybody, give a hello shout out to our Coast to Coast techie, Chris Mabry. He'll be working hard tonight to help us run smoothly. Got some great news. Coast to Coast Entertainment Network is now on Amazon. That's right. If you, as a listener, have this wonderful app, you can watch all Coast to Coast live programming directly from the app. And you can even go back and watch previous episodes. If you don't already have the app, I suggest you go and get it. But wait until after tonight's show because you don't want to miss what I have in store for you. I'm so excited to introduce today's guests. They're a married paranormal investigative couple who search out the dark and twisted in order to shed light on ghostly activity. Please join me in welcoming Pennsylvania and New Jersey neighbors, Married to the Voids, Lexi and Corey McFadden.
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, do you guys recall what your first paranormal encounter was?
For me, I was 7 years old. My grandmother had passed away and she came to me after she passed. So that was my first encounter ever into the paranormal.
You were young, so did it freak you out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It scared me. I ran to mom and dad. Mom and dad are like, no, it's okay, Don't worry about it.
Was there any kind of history of that in your family before that they would know to expect it and nurture it in you, or?
Nope.
No.
Had nothing. Had no idea. It just came out of the blue. So my grandmother had passed. And my grandmother actually was a victim of the Holocaust that she survived. Oh. And so she had major PTSD. And from what I've actually been reading recently is that a lot of that PTSD lingers in the afterlife. Of course, makes the spirit stronger. Or it can make the spirit stronger. And apparently she appeared to me and I'll never forget it. She stood in my bedroom. She was wearing a nightgown and she said, everything's going to be fine. I love you. And that was it.
Now, was this as she was passing or after she passed?
After she had passed. It was within 2 to 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of like what I mean, because a lot of the times somebody will receive that message and then go in and say, I just saw grandma, she's dead. And they'll be like, no, it's just a dream. And then all of a sudden the phone will ring and bang, they find out, oh, grandma passed away.
Yep, that's basically what happened. I knew before anybody else did. So that was
the start of your legacy then, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Ever since you've been feeling and hearing spirit.
Yes. I actually lived in a haunted house when I was 12 years old. That was in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. We actually still to this day have it on camcorder, actual recording.
Oh, cool.
Figure out how to convert it so we can share it with the world.
Yeah.
We don't have a VCR.
They do have these people. If you Google it on Groupon, you can go and they'll actually convert your videos to CDs. I've done it before, and really inexpensive. So it's definitely something I suggest you do so you have that treasure for future to look at. What about you, Corey? What was your first paranormal experience?
Mine wasn't of the ghostly variety. It was more of the outer spacely variety.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I was maybe, I want to say like 17. And we were at a friend's house party and, everybody was having a few drinks. And we're all talking. I'm standing by my cousin Sosa and I'm talking to him. And I'm like, all of a sudden a flash caught in the corner of my eye. And I'm like, oh, it must be thunder or lightning. I looked over and there was a big blue, the sky was completely clear. And there was a streak in the sky, like at least 4 inches from my eyesight, but it had to be in the atmosphere, like way up there. And it looked like a tear in space. And it was it was light blue with dark ripples on the outside. And I tried to get everybody's attention. I'm like, guys, look at this, look at this. And everybody just kept talking. Nobody looked. And as soon as Sosa looked over, it just disappeared into a cloud of smoke. I couldn't believe it. It was there for a good 30 seconds. It was creepy.
I love those kind of things when they happen. So these things were evidently effective in making you want to investigate the paranormal.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, what would you say is the most important thing you wish to accomplish in your own investigations?
The truth. The truth. Just basically, there, of course, with anything else, even Corey here was a skeptic for the longest time, and he still is with certain things. But the more proof that we have to show the world, this is real evidence. This is the afterlife. Our number one question in life is death. What happens after you die? And we're here to basically share that with the world. We want to help people understand it better. I mean, help ourselves even, just as human beings, to understand it better.
It's so hard nowadays with these paranormal shows on because they make it seem so simple. And I try to tell the public when I'm on a show that it's quite boring, actually, because you can go to a paranormal investigation and stay there for hours.
Yes.
And nothing will happen.
Yes.
And, speaking directly to a New York director, he said to me, it's entertainment. We have to show them something. And if we don't have anything to show, we have to make something happen. So it makes you wonder, well, how much of it is real and how much of it's not. So that's why when I actually had that personal experience,
yep.
And even though I sit there for hours waiting, that one nugget that you get is like, oh my God. And you're so excited about it. And then if you go back to the place a second and a third time, it just makes it even that much more palpable, I think.
Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely on point with that.
Yeah,
I asked you to pick out. I'm sorry, Corey, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying our big thing is debunking. And like you said, absolutely finding the truth. Like, we're not going to sit here and go, did you hear that? It must be something. No. I'll go over there. I'll check pipes and everything. Like you said, some of these shows, they want to amplify it, even though it's not real. We're never going to do that.
It's really important to try and debunk it because the more you do that and can't, the more profitable that proof is in your whole grouping of evidentiary stuff that you get put together. So I think it's really important that you do try and debunk something.
Absolutely.
For your own self explanation as well.
Oh, yeah.
I asked you guys to pick out 3 investigations of yours that you felt proffered some great evidence we could share what you have with the listening audience. So you picked first, the one that we're going to start with was the Haunted Hillview Manor in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. I have a picture that I'm going to put up that I got off of the website. Picture credits to the Haunted Hillview Manor website. For those of you tuning in, the manor was a former nursing home / poor farm built in 1926, known as the Lawrence County Home for the Aged, which housed the county's mentally ill, severely destitute, and elderly who had no known relatives. I have another shot of the building that Chris is going to put up for us. When it first opened its doors, the caretakers were Perry D. Schneider and his wife, Mary A. Schneider, along with their 2 children and 12 staff members. They cared for 12 residents. Although the home wouldn't normally accept children, 1 boy child was included in this original 20. And here's the final view of the Hillview Manor I have. It wasn't until June of 1924, when the Snyders, in their 70s by then, were brought up on incompetency charges. Living in the facility at the time on a pension, they were forced to vacate the premises. Their reign of abuse finally came to an end. At that point in time, Mansby Hogue took over operations, which continued well into the 60s, at which point the home began facing severe overcrowding issues. And Mans, getting no support from the county, resigned. In 74, an addition was added and helped with the overcrowding issue. The facility was renamed Hillview Manor in 77, but due to financial constraints, it officially closed its doors in '04. Former residents don't seem to care and they continue on with their daily living. The 80,000 square foot facility today holds both public and private investigations, as well as day tours. When did you do your investigation? When did your investigation take place, guys? And did you go alone or were you in a group? How did that pan out?
It was actually April of 21. We went as a group, and it was a bunch of us. Our Pennsylvania, Married to the Void. It's Josh and Mary, and then they had brought their cousins as well. And so we had this big group, and this facility, believe it or not, is a lot bigger than it shows online. So the way the building is set out, it's shaped like almost like a U. So it goes around, and we were walking through, and it had this energy about it. As soon as you stepped onto the property, it was you knew it was going to be great. This is actually our favorite location.
Really?
Yes, we loved it. It's very far from us, and we definitely want to go back at some point. But so we get our group together, and they're on one end, we're on the other, and we decided to go Facebook Live. So we were walking through, doing a preliminary walk through just to see where the Wi-Fi basically was in the facility. And while we're exiting one of the rooms, at first we caught two voices. It's funny because we thought it was only one. After reviewing the evidence, just this time we caught the second voice that we never even noticed.
I love when that happens.
Yeah, we had no idea. And then we walked through and around, and then that's when everything just went wild. That was that was the craziest investigation we've ever had from start to finish.
Yeah, it was a little strange. We were getting the little bit that we sent you was not even the whole extent of the video. We caught a lot of actual activity, whether it was something that we caught later on or they were actually interacting with us. But it just went out through the whole night. It was absolutely amazing.
Start to finish. It was,
you know what it is, when that spirit senses that they know that you can sense them and hear them, they really just are drawn to you because they're really looking for acknowledgement and they don't get it very often. And when they know that there's somebody there that can see or hear or feel them, they're drawn to you and they try and get your attention in whatever means that they can. And I know sometimes they get frustrated even, and that's why you get some angry spirits because they've been trying over and over and over again and nothing's happening. So it's great when you've got a group of people that are all sensitive to some degree or in it, for that goal, and all that energy together, you have your pieces of the puzzle that you put together, and it's just incredible what it can turn out. So I get that it was a successful investigation in that respect. I noticed that they have a security alarm system with surveillance cameras. I was wondering if they ever catch anything untoward or ghostly on the cameras. Have you ever heard anything to the contrary about the building?
We actually follow them, of course, ever since the investigation. So they're, of course, all over social media, and they're very popular. And we follow them on Facebook, and they're constantly doing daytime investigations of their own, their staff, and they're constantly catching things on their CCTV. We've actually never heard anybody going there and not catching something. It's like a guarantee you're going to get something. And we caught.
What kind of stuff? What kind of stuff? Like what happens?
So EVPs, we caught voices. We caught footsteps above us, which was in the clip that we sent to you. So the footsteps above us, I was Facebook Live, and we had our Boo Box, our Married to the Void Boo Box, which is our version of a REM pod. Corey actually built that, and this thing is just going wild. Cool. Our K2 meters going wild. There's just activity, and it's just the two of us in the room, and all of a sudden, boom, boom. Somebody Corey's size. So I know you can't really tell how big Corey is, but Corey's 6'2". So he's a big boy. Yeah. So he we hear this above us, and we actually had to radio to them and to our team to find out if anybody was above us. And Hillview confirmed, and so did our team. There was nobody above us. There was not a single soul, but you could hear it live above us. And on Facebook Live, and it's just going off. He's trying to run to capture it. It was crazy.
They also used that camera system that you're talking about to confirm nobody was above us.
Yeah.
So we had our equipment verify and their equipment verify. There was nothing there to make walking noise. And if you listen to it closely, it sounds like the walking starts in the middle of the room.
Yeah. In the middle of the room, and there was nobody there. Above us was basically a big open space.
That's the footage that you brought with you that Chris is going to put up in a minute, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we? So we're going to hear the footsteps, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, go for it, Chris. Hopefully this is without a hitch. I have a thunderstorm coming in here in Sussex County, so it's like it throws everything off.
And make our rounds back later. Maybe he'll be a little more active later. Go ahead, do your thing. Sandy's nursing station. Sandy was a nurse in one north. And Julie found in Bill's room or at the nurse's station. She was friendly. She was great.
Detects everything, anything around it, any kind of. Oh, you guys see how far away from the bed I am?
There was somebody definitely walking above us just a second ago.
Guys, we just got footsteps above us. Heavy, 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 heavy footsteps. There's no way to
Let me find out if that's the crew. Hold on. Hey, are you guys on the second floor right above us?
Oh!
Whoa! That is something actually physically touching that box right now. That's the only way it goes off.
She likes that box, huh?
I guess so.
Cool, thank you for appreciating Corey's
These
handiwork.
guys are not above us. That is, wow, babe, what is that?
Oh, really?
It sounded like me, but I was like,
Okay, guys, I don't know if you heard that, but that was just crazy right now.
Hannah, are you scared of whatever that walking was? If you were, you can just let us know by lighting that box up again. I'll make sure you're not scared by it no more. I'll be your protector.
No, we just lost live. No.
Start again.
Oh my goodness. What happened?
I don't know.
Whoa. Are you messing with us, girl? I need to. Would you like a camera? That's wild.
Alright.
That's crazy. Sorry guys, we just lost live video. You guys hear that?
Hello? Oh man, that can't be real. No way.
Holy mackerel.
Hey, are you guys above us, like in the area of 203?
We got full Wi-Fi, you guys. I'm so sorry, we lost Wi-Fi for next year. And I have a new cell service in the building.
That was crazy cool.
Thank you.
Keep going, Corey. Oh, this just can't be real.
Just like she said, I'm a skeptic. Yeah, I'm like skeptical, so I heard that. I'm like, no way.
I saw you had a doll there. Did you have it there for any particular reason? Was there some kind of like a heads up that there were children or something that might have been ghostly children?
Oh, so we were supposed to bring a gift For Anna, and do you remember her name? Was it Virginia?
I think
I
maybe
think these were
Virginia.
longtime residents of the facility, and they had these ladies had their rooms across from each other. And it turned out in the afterlife, they would hang out together in the one room. So if you bring gifts, you are basically given activity or more than. And that was true.
Well, the one older woman was like, you know, it was a place for the feeble-minded, and she thought
Right.
herself as a child's mind. So everybody
Gotcha.
would bring her dolls and gifts of child nature, and that's what she loved the most was dolls. Yeah.
Aw, that's so sweet. Were you guys in there overnight? Did you spend the
No.
night?
We
No.
5 in the morning.
Yeah, we did a long investigation, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. It was an overnight.
we did exit very tired.
Yeah, we didn't even do an
Well,
exit part on that because I was like wiped. I was like, let's get back to the hotel.
Yeah.
oh my God, that was so fun though. Oh, I would just love that, really. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
And so you said you warranted a lot more than just that, but that was really crazy that you were there and these footsteps were happening and everybody was notified and none of them were above you. And that's when Corey freaked out and goes, "This can't be happening."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What it didn't show too is that we were using earpieces at the time, so it didn't mess with our cameras when we heard back on radio talk. So when you hear me talking, nothing come back. That's because I have my earpiece in.
You had to
We
use
stopped using those so that we could hear full communication.
hmm I love going with the skeptic though, because when they're proven that this is really what's happening, it's fun to get their reaction. So that was a lot of fun. Your 1890 house museum investigation. The house belonged to Chester and Ardell
Wickwire.
Wickwire.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a picture of that I got from the website, and picture credits go to that
It was
1890
beautiful,
house.
this place.
Oh my God. When I saw it, I was like, mesmerized. It really is stunning. Um, Chester was a wire weaving factory owner, and while his wife Ardell manned the house overseeing the servants and hosting teas by entertaining the local ladies discussing numerous causes applicable to their community. Here's another picture he's going to put up for us. They had three sons. Oh, that one looks very eerie. Raymond, Charles, and Frederick. Raymond died at the age of 5 from scarlet fever. And I have another photo. I visited the website, and the interior is extraordinary. The Wickwires were extremely rich, and it comes through on all of the special expensive touches they added to the construction when building that door and that massive door and all the surrounding wood is just extraordinary. And then there's this other one that we're going to put up about the stairwell. Oh, the stairs are just to die for. When you
fun.
oh my God, I was like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. Chris is going to put that picture up too. Oh, in the hallway. Oh, the hall. That's creepy.
That
That's
one's
like
Burlington County.
Oh, okay. So he put up the wrong one. All right.
That's Burlington County Prison right there.
Picture 4. No, you got to go to picture 4, House Museum, Chris. The Wickwires, like I said, were extremely rich, and they put all these fancy touches on the house. From visiting the website, the museum looks to be like this historical gem, of course, but I didn't see any mention on the site whatsoever related to paranormal and ghost investigations. So if I can ask, whatever prompted you to go there to paranormally investigate?
So that actually happened by chance. I was doing some research on local, when I say local, I mean within 5 hours of driving distance to us, to older mansions. And I'd come across a very short blog about a rocking chair had been moving on its own during a tour. So I was like, this is interesting, but I didn't see anything about paranormal. So I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. Let me just contact them. I contacted them, and they were completely all for having us, which was completely
great.
Yes. We were actually the second team by ourselves only ever to investigate this location. The first team was ghost hunters or TAPS. A long time ago, pre fame, they had actually investigated this, and we got lucky enough that they did it. And we had Sean with us, who was the curator for the museum, and he actually did the investigation with us. Everything in the house is original.
It's nice to have somebody like that with you because they're able to just talk you through everything and walk you through everything. And sometimes they throw this history that you don't normally know and aren't privy to until you're actually walking with them on an investigation. And a lot of times they'll even share information of things that they have experienced or other workers have experienced. And it's like, oh, wow, that's great. And then you're kind of hoping, oh, I hope that happens with me.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. He was a trooper. He was a trooper. I actually stuck him in the room. He had an experience, and I closed the door. Had an EVP session, and he was great. He was great. He did the whole thing with us, so it was really awesome.
Yeah, like you said, it was good to have somebody that did history. We did a sensory deprivation, and I kept hearing people responding, but it sounded foreign, like a different language. And supposedly the people that he would hire were Russian and German immigrants. And I was like, it sounded like I heard Russian. I was like, that sounded like words, but it was like in a different language.
Can you explain to the audience what sensory deprivation means, please?
Yes. So I would basically go into a room that she feels is very active, and I will go in there by myself, blindfolded, and I'll have headphones on so I can hear what I'm hearing on the spirit box. And
Okay.
I will have the walkie-talkie going. She asks questions from a totally different part of the house, and all I'm doing is saying what I hear in my right. I can't hear or see nothing other than the words coming into the spirit box.
Right. I love that. I love the spirit box. I've never heard it described as sensory deprivation, but I like that.
Well, that's when you go in completely blind, blind and deaf. All you hear is words in the box.
Yeah, no. And it's so great because the people listening audience, you don't understand that when we're wearing these headphones and we've got our eyes covered, we don't know anything but that white noise that's going through the headset. And so if words come through, they'll randomly spew and then we'll just repeat them. So if somebody says Matt, I'll say Matt. If somebody says Alice, I'll say Alice. And we're just repeating what we hear in the headset. So the person around us, like you are for your husband, you're asking these questions to the spirit. What's your name? And I'm spewing out Alice. Then you know we're answering questions that the spirits are feeding us. So the answers to. So I just really love the use of the spirit box. I feel like it's really very helpful and true to what it's meant to do. Because I mean, in this day and age, let's face it, people can really just manipulate stuff, and it's questionable and you doubt it. But if you're in a situation, you're actually using that equipment and you're sensitive yourself and you're in those surroundings and you know that the air is heavy, you've seen orbs go by you, shit is happening, and then all of a sudden you have the spirit box on and you're getting responses, and it's like, okay, something's definitely going on here. So that skeptic in you can be really encouraged to believe that something's actually happening. So what else happened on that investigation? I know you said you got, I know you brought footage with us. Why don't you explain to us what's on the footage that you brought?
Okay, so in this clip, we decided to show you one of the most baffling pieces of evidence that I've ever seen as a skeptic coming into it. The first part is Lexi is going on her own little walk. She's doing a walkabout, comes to the front of the building to the entrance, and she wants to entice the ghost by ringing the bell. Well, she rings the bell, and then after she rings the bell, you hear something go, ha, 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 and it sounds creepy. And then in the room next to her, the china cabinet with mirrors has lights in it. All of a sudden, the lights blacken out, and then they lit up again as if a black mass walked in front of the cabinet and then just continued going.
Ooh.
Yeah.
When we discovered this, I had full body chills. I actually have chills right now as we're talking about it.
I was watching it and I had the earphones pressed, and I'm like,
and for the fact that I captured the shadow figure along with the creepiest laugh I've ever heard. It almost sounds, and I hate to use this word, demonic, but it really is so it's that bad.
It was a wicked laugh.
Oh yeah.
Really? Oh, so it's the laugh that made you feel like it was
ring the bell, and
and then you see the shadows. It was
yeah,
kind of
tricky.
And then I think the second part of the video is there's a whole bunch of stuff tonight, but again, I'm only showing you two parts of each of these things. And the second part of the video, it looked like it's an orb I've never seen. It was so thick that I thought it was an insect, but as I slow it down, there is no shape to this orb. There's no like a normal insect shape would have, like, you can see protrusions of maybe wings or legs. It looked like a discus, like a small discus shot around the corner, like something you've seen in Poltergeist. Those little white discus.
This is on the House Museum clip that you brought with you.
Correct. It's the second clip.
All right, so Chris, that it's insert the House Museum clip, and so.
Can you close the door for us? Or ring a bell? That's me. That's me.
You in there ringing bells?
It was me, because I want them to ring the bell back. They're not giving us anything. I said, you know, it's unfair. They drained all our batteries and took our power, but they're not giving us anything, and it's time for them to give back. I'm just saying, it's only fair.
Now I can really understand and relate to persons having to edit this stuff. It's time consuming and boring. And I just really love the way that you put those little comments in there and the arrows and pointing to stuff, because on first look, you don't always catch something. And then when you actually say, this is where it is, because you've been sitting there for hours and you've been looking through this stuff. And when you see something, it's like, oh, did I see something? And then you can just rewind it and go back and you look at it. And you're like, yeah, there's something there. And then you'll rewind and you'll go back and you, oh my God. So when you actually put those little comments in there to show the audience that this is what's there, then they can be like, oh my God. Yeah, I didn't catch that when you first did. So I love the way you guys did that, because I really respect that whole sitting there and having to do it. So whoever did it did a great job, and it's really it's really important that you do that, because you know, some people just don't catch it on first glance. I'm really good about catching stuff in pictures and windows. I just like I'm anal about it. I'll take pictures and I'll be like zooming in. And one of the best pictures I ever got was on a cemetery tour, and the moon was bright. It was October. The weather was great. It was perfect night to be walking in a cemetery. And they were telling us, you know, take random pictures, but 3 at a time. So it was like 3, 3, 3, and 3, 3, 3. And everywhere I went where I felt something, I took pictures. And I must have went home with like 100 pictures. And when you open it up in your phone, all you see is black. It's like, okay, where do I start? And I got this great picture of this apparition, this guy, and he was really handsome, I have to say. He was just like, he was standing there like he was George Washington, and he had the ascot on, and riding jacket, and I'm like, damn, he's cute. And I got a full body of him, and then I got a partial of him. So that was in that set of 3, because they say sometimes it'll be there and it won't. So I got him there, half of him, and nothing. And I was just like, oh, I was so excited to get that picture. So it really is time consuming to have to go through all that stuff, but it is worthwhile if you have the time. And when we have audio and I bring my audio with me, I usually like hand it off to my team member, Margaret, because she doesn't mind going through it. And I don't have the time between the 2 podcasts and the writing of my books. I'm like, when am I going to have time to go through this stuff? So I said, here, go through and tell me if you find something. But I know they have these great audio recorders, which some of my team members have, where you can actually just rewind it seconds after you've listened. Seconds after you've recorded it, to listen and see if you got anything. And sometimes we've gotten some really good stuff out of that. So
Awesome.
Kudos to you doing that. Keep on doing it because it's great, because it really makes for a great watch for the people that are looking at the stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, the full length videos, if you watch them, I put a lot of editing into them, and I think that specific video was when I kind of like really started getting into my niche with everything. So you'll see a lot of cool editing and features and transitions. It's a good video.
Good job, because you want to make sure that the viewer is getting exactly what you got.
Right.
I mean, you were there, you experienced it, and especially in this paranormal world where they want us to make shit up and we don't want to do that. So you want them to actually experience the real thing. And I'm sure if somebody has a show and they got to do it weekly, it's nearly impossible. But because we do what we do and how we do it, we do the best that we can so that we can bring that to them. And so that the way you did it was great. I'm really impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then there was the Burlington County Prison in Mount Holly, New Jersey, built in 1806. It's listed in freeholder minutes as a workhouse and a jail. I have actually a picture that I got off the website, and I'm giving the Burlington Prison website the credit for those pictures. It's a beautiful building. It's kind of daunting, and I know I have a front view and a back view, but inmates were expected to work to produce income to help defray the cost of their confinement.
Mm-hmm.
But it's believed that not much in the way of anything manufactured actually came from the inmates there, because guards would need to man the use of the tools by the inmates to produce anything, and many of them were alcoholics or had other physical or mental ailments that interfered with proper workflow. I have another picture. There's the back end of the building. This imposing structure was in use all the way up until 1965, when it was officially closed. Picture 3, I believe, shows the gallows or the hallway. It might be, I'm not really sure, but it was built to accommodate 40 prisoners. But by the time it closed, it was overpopulated with 100 inmates. It opened as a museum in 1966. I think Chris is going to put up the picture 3 and picture 4. Yeah, picture 3, I believe, was that hallway picture that he showed earlier. It's pretty spooky looking hallway to have to walk down, but I imagine if it's a prison, that's kind of expected. And then the gallows picture, I think you guys, yeah, that's the hallway. See, that's kind of creepy looking. And then the gallows picture, really always creeps me out when I see gallows. It's like, because that's the way they did things back then. Do you know, happen to know anything about the history of the hangings there at all?
Yes. So we actually, during one of our sensory deprivations, thankfully Corey was brave enough to do that one, because I was not doing that one. We were granted access to sit on the gallows. We were actually the only team who was granted access. And so Corey did it, and we actually came out with several inmates who were hanged. Unfortunately, the last two, yeah. And when they were hung, they didn't die right away. Unfortunately, it was torture. It was literal torture for them. So their souls I feel, are trapped there because of the happened. Oh yeah, absolutely. It was awful. It didn't break their necks. It didn't anything. They were just hanging there, and it was so awful. Yeah.
Yeah. While I was sitting out there, Lexi caught it. There wasn't a very windy night. There's a little breeze here and here. But as I'm sitting there doing the sensory deprivation, the chains directly in front of the stairs going up the gallows started swinging. But the chains next to it on the left and the right didn't move at all.
No wind. Our boom mic would have caught it. So Corey,
Mr. Skeptic. Mr. Skeptic. Did you think that was something? Okay. How did you guys ever find this location?
Oh, so this is really popular. This is a really popular one. It was on we call it our bucket list, and we were just like, we have to do this. I mean, what's cooler than doing a prison? I mean, it's like, wow. So we're like, all right, you know what? It's in Jersey. It's smaller. There's only 2 of us. Let's check it out. Let's see. And they had us there, and it was fantastic. Lady Grace there. She was our hostess, and she told us the history, and just basically we had full run of it, and it was just
Oh, I love that.
That was actually our first lock-in experience. She
Oh,
locked
yeah.
us completely into the building. There was no way out other than getting through with the big giant bolt key for the
Oh,
front
this
door.
key was like
huge.
this big. It was the original to the
lock,
prison.
everything.
Everything was original. It was really cool. It was a little scary. I did my first deprivation there too, but
Oh, that's right, in the cell.
yeah. And then getting to the dungeon, which funny thing is the dungeon is not down here. So back then, yeah, which we found very interesting. The dungeon typically is in the basement. No, this dungeon actually was on the second floor of the prison. So we caught voices, we caught shadows. I was getting these strange feelings.
Her cross starts when she did her sensory deprivation. Her cross starts spinning on her.
My
neck.
rosary I was wearing started spinning. I was by myself in a cell, locked in a cell, and Corey was down the hall, not near me. It was just me and the cameras, and that's it. And it started spinning after I had already felt something. I moved and I sat still. I'm like, okay, let me just breathe. And then it just started going on its own. And it was really creepy, and things that Corey was getting there when he was sitting at the gallows. So he did the sensory deprivation, and it said, "What? May God be with you."
It said, "May God bless your soul."
Oh.
And it came out clear enough for me to repeat.
Like, do you want to tell Corey anything? And that was about the same time that the chains started moving in front of him. Crazy.
So what's on the footage that you brought with you today?
Hi, baby.
So this footage, I believe we are showing you what sounds like, because there was a guard that passed away there, and we've talked to him a couple times in the basement, but we think he followed us upstairs. We were down the hall doing a spirit box session with our ITC program, and our 4K camera was shooting the dungeon hall. Well, we caught this guy asking, "Hello, all calm," like he's saying the prison is all calm, like the prisoners are now asleep, it's all calm, clear, and it was a male voice, and it had to be right there next to the camera. And we were the only people in. No, we were on the same floor down the hall.
Yeah.
Like you can hear our talking going on very faintly, but this was clear and loud.
Nobody else was there.
And then the second part of it, we were sitting in front of the dungeon.
Yeah, so we were sitting in front of the dungeon, and I had these little light up balls that I've been using recently.
They activate to touch.
Most people know them as cat toys. You know, you move them, and then the LED lights go off. So I'm like, well, this is a very inexpensive, good way to capture something. So we're sitting in front of the dungeon, and it was just like, hey, if you can let us know you're here, you can move one of the balls. Well, the first time we didn't catch it. We had no idea. It was beneath us. Neither of us kicked it. There was nobody in front of us, nobody around. So we had one camera down the hall and one camera we were recording with. So we had two cameras on us. And then we asked them to do it again. And sure enough, right in front of us, not a foot in front of us, in front of the dungeon, boom, it starts going off. And it was like, wow, this is incredible. Wow. Like they did it on command.
And our full video shows a lot of what happened that night. And what led up to the ball lighting is we were doing, again, another ITC, spirit box session. And it sounded the way, when we listened over to it, the questions Lexi was asking and the responses we were getting, it was like her spirit guardian and whatever was up there were fighting with each other. Like it said, I said, "You can touch me," and it said, "I'm going to touch Lexi." And it said, "No, you're not." It was creepy, but we didn't have that in there. That you'd have to actually watch in the video.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's all right. So why don't I have Chris insert that Burlington prison clip?
Is anybody here?
Now in SB7 mode.
comes through.
How about one of these balls? Can you move one of these balls before? They light up.
Dungeon?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the dungeon area.
That ball's staying light up. Can you make that ball light up? Are any of these balls? Who's alive? Eliza? You there? Man? What we got here? Charles?
Wesley?
Babe, babe. Babe. Babe, can you record this? The ball is lit up and we did not kick it. You did it for us! Thank you so much. So you're
Wesley?
Wesley?
Charles?
Yes.
Charles Brooks?
I cannot believe how many vocals you got.
Oh yeah.
And they
Absolutely
were so
insane.
clear. Oh my God. That first one, especially the hello, all this calm. I thought that was somebody with you.
It
Oh
us.
my God.
blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind.
I can imagine as you're listening back and you're like, holy shit.
That's exactly what I'm like.
I
Holy
know
shit,
that
thanks for
wasn't
listening to
me.
this.
And you can tell it's male for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Oh my God. That was so cool. That place is crazy cool.
Yeah.
I would love to go there. Wow. I can understand why you'd want to go there.
Thank you.
So you have the whole video. You have the whole video up on your website. You're going to share with us later where people can go to
Correct.
listen
It's
to
on
it.
our YouTube page. We have 3 seasons on there worth of videos.
Very nice. So for listeners who are interested in paranormal investigations, what advice would you give to them?
Be yourself and be truthful.
And don't fake stuff. Just look for the truth, guys. I mean, we got too many out there that are just faking it. Just if you really strive and work hard at it, and you are going to work hard at it, you will get some good stuff. I promise.
You'll be amazed.
Really, truly. I mean, look at Corey. Corey started off as a skeptic. We literally turned Corey into a believer.
But you know what? It's still good to have that bit of skepticism in you because then it makes it so real, so legitimate. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, tell the listening audience how they can find you.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit. Our own website is Married2theVoid.
If you Google Married to the Void with a number 2, it'll pull up everything. Yeah. I mean, we also, have a lot of good friends that do this stuff, like Ron Iacovetti, who does the direct radio voice phenomenon.
Lourdes.
And Lourdes. And I mean, we do digital seances with these guys, and it will absolutely blow your mind. Because it's all live, and it's through the static channels, like white noise static channels, and you're just getting direct voice communication. There's no replay or playback. It's direct voice. And our friends Richard, Michelle, New
Jersey Paranormal Project.
Yeah, he's written a few books on stuff that she's
what was the name that you just mentioned?
New Jersey Paranormal Project.
Yeah, Richie Michelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him fairly well. Okay, yeah.
We did investigation with them
They're
at
fantastic
Hibernia
people.
Cemetery. That was fun.
Oh, that's so funny. My Lady Ghostbusters team has been with them to the Hibernia Cemetery too, and we've gone to
what a hike, right?
With them. He's come with us on a couple investigations, and we've gone with them on a couple investigations. So yeah.
Well, maybe we'll have you guys come with us on some investigations.
I would love to, and vice versa. Let's definitely collaborate for sure. I'd love that. Well, thank you so much, Lexi and Corey, for coming on this evening. It's really exciting to see how a married couple can work so in sync with one another.
Thank you so
And I'm
much.
sure the listening audience is going to really enjoy it as well too.
Well, everybody, have a great night. And like we always like to say,
No rest for the wicked.
no rest for the wicked. Thank you, Eleanor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
And thank you, Techie Chris. We couldn't do it without you. If you liked listening to this week's episode and you're into all things paranormal, check out my other show, Eleanor Wagner's Strange and Scary World podcast, out of the Paranormal UK Radio Network, which is available wherever you get your podcasts. If any of you are interested in reading any of my books, you can find the links to them on my website, authoreleanorwagner.com. I read about the history of the town and location, add the paranormal story to the mix, and finish it all with photos and evidence. And if you're looking for some protection from ghostly attachments, the Lady Ghostbuster unisex bracelet is the perfect thing. This gorgeous protective gemstone bracelet with sterling silver ghost charm is the perfect fix. Offered in collaboration with Zen Jewels by Zen Jen, you can find the link for this gorgeous piece at my website, authoreleanorwagner.com, under the merchandise tab. Don't go into a haunted building unprotected. Arm yourself with a Lady Ghostbuster bracelet by Zen Jewels. Viewers, tune in on Thursday, August 18th, when New Jersey Paranormal Project's Richie Michella and Kimberly Geyer come to share some ghostly gap with me at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Funny that we were just talking about them, and now they're going to be on the next episode. And enjoy as the Headless Horseman soundtrack by Alexander Nakarada takes us out. Good night, everybody.
I hope you've enjoyed this little journey down my own personal nightmare alley. If you're one of those people who experiences the paranormal and has stories of your own you've been filing away over the years, I want to hear about them. And if you're a part of a paranormal investigative team, even better. I'd love to have you on my show. Got a questionable photo? Send it in. Would love to have an open discussion here amongst the professionals. Reach out to me at authoreleanorwagner@gmail.com. Enjoy our soundtrack music, Headless Horseman by Alexander Nakarada, promoted by freestockmusic.com. And remember, no ghost story is better than a real-life ghost story. Until we meet again, make sure you're creeping it real.